So we are getting close to 2 o'clock to get started. We're just going to give another minute or so for people to come in. So we are going to get started shortly, so if I just share my webcam with you guys. So you guys can see me right now. So today's webinar is going to be focused on SOLIDWORKS Inspection, the software. We'll take a look at what's new in 2017, as well as we'll take a look at both options, the standalone and the add-in. So before we get started, I'd like to just throw a poll out there and just to make sure that everyone can hear me. So we're going to go ahead and launch a poll. And I just want to see. So there's some people out there that have not voted yet. There may be. It seems like the majority can hear me. So we're going to go ahead and we'll get started. So again, thank you for joining this webinar. Thanks for everyone that registered. If you guys have any questions throughout, please throw them in the question tab, or you guys can send a quick chat, and I'll take a look at those as they come through. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll hide that there. So again, today we'll be focusing on SOLIDWORKS Inspection 2017. And my name is Sharkawi. I'm a technical solutions expert here at Javelin. I work with a lot of industries. I've came up with a lot of creative solutions, and I deal a lot with the SOLIDWORKS Inspection product. If you guys ever need to contact me, my email is on the screen. So if you guys need any, if you guys have questions about this webinar, or about the product, or about anything else, SOLIDWORKS, please don't hesitate to email me. So today, we'll take a look at SOLIDWORKS Inspection. What is SOLIDWORKS Inspection? We'll next take a look at Streamlined Application. That means taking a look at the add-in of SOLIDWORKS Inspection. And then we're going to be working with non-SOLIDWORKS drawings. And how do we do that with inspection? And then closing the loop and performing the inspection. That means getting data from outside, whether it's using CMM machines or anything else, and integrating that within the SOLIDWORKS Inspection product. So first, let's take a look at SOLIDWORKS Inspection 2017. What is SOLIDWORKS Inspection? Now, before we jump into that, I want to throw out a quick poll, actually. And let's see I want to get an idea of what CAD systems do you guys use. Do you guys use SolidWorks? Do you guys use other CAD systems, or do you guys don't use any CAD systems at all, and you guys are working in quality? So I just want to throw that out there, and I want to get a feel for what you guys are using. Give that a couple more seconds for people to throw their vote in. Perfect. So 91% are using SolidWorks. So that's a big chunk. And once we see, you know, the SolidWorks add-in, you know, you can recognize the SolidWorks part. But the reason why I'm asking that is because you know, SolidWorks Inspection is not just a SolidWorks file. It doesn't just work with SolidWorks files. It works with other CAD formats as well. And we'll take a look at that in the part. So then, now if I jump in, why would we use inspection? So we can save time by automatically ballooning these drawings. And what that means is, you know, in previous methods, maybe you guys are manually ballooning your drawings right now. Maybe you have some sort of process, but it's still taking a lot of time to go through and manually balloon those drawings. Maybe you guys are creating inspection reports by hand, or you guys are, you know, manually inserting that each time. That's another reason why you might be looking at inspection. And then we can also do an extraction of characteristics. So we can do an automatic extraction of characteristics. We can pull out a lot of information from our drawings as well. And lastly, we'll take a look at, you know, reducing scrap. And that means not having to go back and forth and minimizing a lot of those risks associated with manually doing a lot of these operations. So SolidWorks Inspection. So like I previously mentioned, SolidWorks Inspection comes in two formats. So it comes in the add-in right within SolidWorks, and we get a standalone version within Inspection. And Inspection Standard includes both. So whether you're working with SolidWorks drawings, we can work with the add-in. And then if we're working with PDFs and TIFFs, we can go ahead and use the standalone version for that matter. So SolidWorks Inspection, we can create balloon drawings. We create Excel-based reports, as you can see on the screen. We can get those results automatically as well, and then we can. It gives us an up to 80% time savings without having to go in, create those templates every time. Everything is saved, and everything is done, and everything is streamlined within SolidWorks Inspection. So standard versus professional. So we've seen, you know, both the standard and professional come with the add-in and the standalone, but we do have two different variations of the software. We do have the standard and the professional. So the standard, you know, we can balloon, we can, it comes in the add-in and standalone. We have report creation. We do a drawing compare, and we can work with SolidWorks and non-SolidWorks drawings, and it streamlines our operations. Now, the professional takes that a step further, where we can connect with measurement systems such as CMM, digital calipers, etc., and it does an automatic verification of our parts. So you'll see at during my presentation that we can work with you know, these non-SolidWorks drawings, and we can also pull in the CMM information. It'll automatically give us the best fit within with our tolerances. So that's our SolidWorks Inspection in a nutshell. Next, what I want to do is I want to show you the software and show you the capabilities that inspection has to offer. So there's an integrated streamlined application, like we mentioned. There's the add-in. So let's take a close look at what this add-in has. So we can lock balloon numbers. The new images beside the text show that, you know, these are new for 2017. So locking balloon numbers, that's new for 2017. We can manually balloon by selecting each dimension individually. We can do templates, hold, file properties. We'll take a look at that. And then in the end, once we're done with our project, we can go ahead and publish our drawing and reports into either Excel or PDF. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's take a look at our SolidWorks interface. So this is my SOLIDWORKS part that we worked on. So you can see, again, these dimensions are just for illustrations. You don't really need them for your inspection. So we have our part ready. Now let's go ahead and open up the drawing for our part. So once I open it up, I have my drawing, and then now I get a tab called SOLIDWORKS Inspection. So from here, I can go ahead and start a new inspection project. So if I go ahead and press New Inspection Project, I get a list of templates. And again, you guys can have your own inspection templates created for your custom file properties. And then once I choose the one that I want, I can go ahead and press OK. And now I can update my settings. So if I press on my part number, I can go ahead and pull that from my custom property. So I can say, you know, for my part number, I can choose that number there. I can get my part name and maybe my part revision as well. So once that's all done, I get into my characteristic info. So I can start off at any number of balloons that I want. So right now I'm going to start off at 1. I can change the classification for my balloons. I can go ahead and do my automatic extraction for my ballooning. And I have a create for each instance, but this is where 2017 came to play. So 2017 comes up with a new option called Prevent Automatic Renumbering. And so that means when I go ahead and delete a characteristic or a balloon, it's not going to go ahead and renumber everything. It's going to keep everything the same way, maintaining that history. So I can go ahead and go next. I can choose which dimensions I'm going to be extracting. So maybe you just want the basic ones. We can go next. And here we can modify or show our basic tolerancing. So I can go ahead and modify that, and then when we're ready, we're just going to go ahead and press OK, and our drawings are going to be populated with these balloons. So now if I go into one of these dimensions, I see that it pulls in everything. So I can see my value, my tolerances, my upper and lower limit. With those tolerances, I can make it a key characteristic. So if I select on that, I can make that a key characteristic, and I can choose what operation this is going to be under. So again, these are all customized, so I can maybe choose that this is going to be under bending. So I have that in there, and then I can also move my balloon around if it's in the way. So I can go to 1, and maybe I don't want that one, so I can deselect it. And you can see how none of my balloons get renumbered. Even if I go in and I delete one of my balloons, and I do a rebuild, I can go through and I can see, that dimension is now missing. And I can go ahead and accept this annotation change. So when I accept it, that balloon gets rid of, but none of the other balloons actually get renumbered. Everything stays the same, and that's a new feature for 2017. And let's say we're done with our PDF and we're done with creating our inspection document. We can go ahead and export to PDF. And this will create a PDF of this drawing, or I can go ahead and do an export to Excel. So if I do an export to Excel and I go ahead and press OK, I get an Excel document of my balloons or these characteristics that I've created. So I can go ahead and maybe type in my values. So for this one, maybe this came out to be 0.25, and you can see that that becomes green, showing us that that's going to pass. And again, these are customizable templates that you guys can have your logo on. You guys can create your own, and then I can go ahead and save it or not save it, and then we can go there. Another option we have is to export it to a SOLIDWORKS inspection project, and this makes it able to open it up within the standalone product, where it has a bit more capability than the add-in, but we can go ahead and export it using that option there. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this here. Let's go ahead and take a look at another option inside the add-in. So I'm going to go ahead and not save it. Let's open up the drawing back up again. And let's create a new inspection project. I'm not going to fill up all these, but now let's take a look at doing a manual extraction that's new for 2017. So if I go next, you're going to see that that's all grayed out because I'm going to do it manually. I'm going to go next, and let's go ahead and press OK. And so we have an option to do an add characteristic. So if I go ahead and add characteristic, I select on the ones that I want to add or balloon, and I have an option to just go ahead and select each one. I can go ahead and select multiple ones at once. And if I deselect one, for instance, this one, it's going to deselect that one. So again, the manual one, you can do either a manual operation or you can do an automatic balloon extraction right from within the add-in inside of Inspection. So we took a look at the SOLIDWORKS add-in. You can see how easy it is to create these balloons and to automatically extract a lot of characteristics. We can do a manual ballooning. We can use templates to hold file properties. We took a look at templates inside of Excel, how we can automatically extract whether it passes or fails and insert it that way. And we can publish our drawings and reports right from within the add-in environment. So that's working within the streamlined application. So next, let's take a look at working with non-SOLIDWORKS drawings. And so that means, whether you don't have SOLIDWORKS or you're working with other file formats. Maybe you have a customer or someone that's using other CAD file formats, and you get a PDF or a TIFF of their drawing. We can go ahead and open that within the Inspection Standalone. So the Standalone, it's its own software, so you can open it up. It's its own program. It's got the mouse control. There's enhancements within 2017, so that makes it easier to zoom and scroll around. We can also use the OCR, optical character recognition, to pull out characteristics, and we can also manage revisions. So let's take a look at the standalone environment of Inspection. So let's see, make sure there's no... So I just close this down, open up Inspection. So from Inspection, we have the option to either create a new project, or we can go ahead and open a project from previous. So I'm going to go ahead and start a brand new project just to show you guys. We can choose a project template like we created, like we did with the add-in. So I can go ahead and press OK. And let's go ahead and open up a standalone. Let's open up a PDF. So this is just opening up a PDF that I've created. So I can go in and you can see how I can use my part name. Now part of the OCR is it allows us to capture these characters. So I can go ahead and use project properties. So now this is the part name. I go through and I can select what that part name is, go in, do my part number, and then the part revision as well. So if I go in, I can choose my part revision here, and so on and so forth. So I can go ahead and press OK. So that's part of my project properties, and now I don't have a left-hand side characteristic. So what I want to do now is I want to capture these characteristics from this PDF. So if I go to Drawing, I can capture, for example, let's first capture notes. So let's go to the top here, and I want to capture this anodized note. So once I get it, I get my anodized note right there. I can get more than one note, right? And next, let's take a look at pulling dimension characteristics. So if I go to dimension, and this is the way we do it within the standalone. So I just go in, and it pulls that information. You can see how it recognizes the value. It recognizes the tolerance that's displayed, and it gives me my upper and lower limit. It also recognizes my quantity. So if I go ahead and do the 2 times for my fillet here, I go ahead and get my quantity. So let's try doing it for a geometric tolerance. So if I go to geometric tolerance, I can go ahead and pull that information, and it gives me C print for geometric tolerance, or I can go ahead and place that in. Again, I can pull out a bit more, so it's not just those tolerances that I can pull. I can do an upper and lower limit, so I can go ahead and do a pull or an extraction of this one, and it does give me my tolerances. So I can do that again for this one here. So I do get my upper and lower limit there, and then right when we're done with our extraction, I can go ahead and do a... If I go back to home, I can export it to Excel like we've done with our add-in. I can export it to a PDF, or I can export it to both at the exact same time. So once we're done with that, we do have other options within the standalone. So we can do a grid format. So I can show this part within grid. So I can add a grid, and then I can see exactly where these zones are going to be. So if you want to show them, this is going to be located in G4, you can go ahead and add a grid to show that. So let's say we dimension our drawing and we're done with this balloon drawing, but we want to compare it to another revision that we've created. So maybe there's another revision that we've created in the past and we want to compare the two. We can do that by going within our, if we go back to drawing here, I can do a compare, and it asks me for another one, so let's do it to a D2. And so what happens is these drawings get placed on top of each other, and so it tells me what's missing, what's new. So you can see that that is a new dimension, and you can see what's there and what's missing. So I can go ahead and either export to PDF this exact drawing, or I can go ahead and do a replace. So when I do a replace, it replaces everything that's new. You can see that 14.04 and these characteristics get deleted. So you can see it gives me the option whether I want to renumber my characteristics within the standalone, or if I want to go ahead and keep everything the same. And again, what's new for 2017 is the ability to scroll through with our mouse. Before, in previous releases, such as 2016 and previous, it's been hard to zoom and go around using our mouse, but now it's a lot easier to navigate and work with. So we took a look at the standalone, so we can import our PDFs and TIFFs. Mouse control is a lot more intuitive inside the standalone product. We can manage revisions easily, and we can pull a lot more information. So we've taken a look at working with our non-SOLIDWORKS drawings. Now before going to the next one allows us to look at the Inspection Professional platform. I want to send out a poll, and let's take a look at what inspection tools do you currently use or does your company use now. So I'm going to launch this, and let's take a look at what you guys use currently to this day. So I see some people are using digital calipers, other people have other sets of software. And look at that, a lot of people are actually using 3D scanners, digital calipers, and CMM machines. So we do have, I'm going to close that there. So a lot of people are using digital calipers, which we can work with inside of our SOLIDWORKS Inspection Professional. And then we do have a lot of people using CMM, digital calipers, and 3D scanners, and we do have 38% using other types of inspection. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Inspection Professional means to us. So in SOLIDWORKS Inspection 2017, we can enter measured values, and we'll take a look at opening that up, and we can import CMM data inside of SOLIDWORKS Inspection. So if I go back into my standalone, again this is in the standalone, and let's go ahead and close this project. Let's open up an inspection. Let's open up flange tab. And so we have a completely ballooned drawing inside of our SOLIDWORKS Inspection project. And from here, we can go through and we can see every characteristics on the bottom. So let's say I can go ahead and enter it manually. So maybe this is going to be 13.3. And you can see that it gives us a pass or fail. So I can go ahead and enter these manually in here. But if I have a CMM or a digital measuring device that I can get my file from, I can go ahead and do this all automatically. On the right-hand side, you can see that we have a CMM data import part. And let's add some files and let's see how this works. So if I go to add files, and let's go to CMM results, and let's bring in this text file, you can see how it brings in my text file for from my CMM inside SOLIDWORKS Inspection. And I can go ahead and apply characteristic numbers, or I can do an auto assign. And this is a big time saver. So I can go ahead and maybe do a best match type. Press OK. And let's go ahead and overwrite anything that I have on there. Let's go ahead and hide this. So you can see how it automatically places it and it applies it towards these characteristics. So I can see, what passes, what fails, what's marginal, and then with these, I can go ahead and maybe overwrite them. I can change them, and then I have the option to export these results into Excel. So if I go to Excel, and maybe let's do, one of these here. Maybe apply, maybe a -2. And let's export this into Excel, and let's see how it looks like with these results. So you can see how I get, these color-coded ones. I can see, what passes, what fails, what the actual nominal one is, and I can send that off to show, that this part passed, or if this part failed, instead of actually sending it out and having that come back and having that part scrapped. So it is a big time saver inside this Inspection Professional. So if you guys do have CMM machines, or if you guys have any sort of data imports, we can set that in, and it'll give you a best fit for your data. So again, SOLIDWORKS Inspection Professional, we can enter measured values, import CMM data. It'll give us a color-coded pass, marginal, fail characteristics, and we can work from there. So today we took a look at what SOLIDWORKS Inspection is in a nutshell. We took a look at the add-in part of SOLIDWORKS Inspection, working with non-SOLIDWORKS drawings, whether you have SOLIDWORKS or if you're working with other file formats from outside, we can work with that. And we've performed an inspection on a part that pulls information from a CMM machine. So here I'm going to open it up towards questions. Do you guys have any questions at all? Just wondering if you guys had any questions. And before everyone leaves, I just want to send out just one more poll out. So what do you guys think of this webinar? Is this exactly what you're looking for? Would you guys have more information on this software? Again, SOLIDWORKS Inspection is made to streamline a lot of these, a lot of the processes that some companies have inside of quality to get from drawing towards report and have that sent right through, saving a lot of time. And before everyone takes off, I'd just like to thank everyone that attended this webinar. I'd like to thank everyone that registered and everyone that participated, and hopefully you guys found this very useful. And again, I'll stick around if you guys have any questions that you guys want to ask me.